Module 8.4, find the percent when given the part and a whole. So question 1, 20 is what percent of 50? So we're going to use a percent model to solve this question. Now this is a little different than what we've been working on the past couple of days. In this one, we're missing the percent. So if you notice that after it says what percent, it says of 50. That means the whole thing is out of 50, the whole model. So if I look at the percent model, if it's out of 50, then how much goes into each box? Remember, there are 10 boxes. So step 2 says divide 50 by the 10 boxes. That means 5 goes in each box. So 10% of 50 is 5. Now the question saying 20 is what percent of 50. Now I could rearrange it. 20 out of 50 is what percent. So what I want to do is I want to shade to find how many 5s make 20. So if you look here, when I shade the first 5 and the second 5, that's 10. But the question's asking 20 out of 50 is what percent? And I notice I need to shade 4 boxes to represent 20. And that equals 40%. So 20 is 40% of 50. Or I could even say 20 out of 50 is 40%. Now that's one way to solve this question. Another way to solve this question is creating a proportion. So 20 is the part, of 50 is a whole, and what percent is obviously our percent. Now I want to set up my proportion. We know the fraction means parts to a whole. So 20 out of 50 would be written as 20 over 50 equals what percent? So I don't know the top number, but I know percent means out of 100. And then I can easily make 50 turn into 100 by multiplying 50 times 2. So I do 20 times 2. So 40 over 100. So 20 over 50 equals 40 over 100, which equals 40%. So that's another way we could solve this. If you look at 20 over 50, I can also simplify 20 over 50 into 2/5. And 2/5, the benchmark fraction it comes from is 1/5. 1/5 is 20%, so 2/5 is 40%. So just different ways we can do to solve that and create it as a percent. Let's look at this question. 56 is what percent of 80? So remember, since it says of 80, it's out of 80. That means the whole model is out of 80, which means that each square equals 8. 80 divided by 10 is 8. So 10% of 80 is 8. Now the question saying 56 is what percent of 80? So how many 8s will make 56? So I'm going to shade 7 boxes because 8 times 7 makes 56. So 70% is the answer. 56 is 70% of 80. So if I write 56 over 80, that will equal 70%. So let's solve this another way without using percent model. Another way you could do this is write a proportion. Since it's out of 80, we know that that goes in the denominator and 56 goes on top. So 56 out of 80 is what percent? Percent means out of 100, so I know the 100 goes on the bottom, and we don't know what goes on top. I could put a variable, but I left it blank for now. If I did do a variable, I would have written P for percent. Now, if we look, 56 over 80 equals what out of 100? I can't multiply 80 with a number to make 100, an integer. So what I want to do is look at 56 over 80. I could simplify 56 over 80. I could divide them both by 8. And when I divide 56 by 8, it becomes 7. 80 divided by 8 is 10. Then I realized 7 over 10 can turn into something out of 100. I can multiply both top and bottom terms both by 10, and the answer is 70%. So again, you can use percent model to solve this, to find the percent, missing percent, or you could set up as a proportion. Remember, if you can't change it, see if you can simplify the fraction. And if you can't simplify the fraction, you can always change it to a decimal and then multiply it by 100 to turn it into percent.